Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lama, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. And we're here to do our weekly angel card reading for Monday, April 6th through Sunday, April 12th, 2015. So we just came off of a full moon lunar eclipse last week. In fact, it was Saturday. That would have been the 4th of April, the day before Easter actually. So we've had a really powerful time because if we go back in time just a little bit briefly, March 16th we had the final Uranus-Pluto square. Very shortly after that we had a new moon solar eclipse, which is again a more powerful energy than a regular new moon. And then we had the full moon lunar eclipse on April 4th. And so, here we are into this week after all of that very intense energy. And it has been a crazy time. I had a lot of people contacting me and talking to me about, things they were going through physically, different emotional things they were going through. And I feel like we're now in a turning point, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One being that we are now through the eclipse season, and the eclipses are still going to affect us. The outcome energies of the eclipses, I should say, are still within happening. There's still events and circumstances unfolding from those eclipses, the changes and the redirections that are happening from that energy. But we also have some interesting astrology coming up this week. So let's start by looking at that. As we start the week off on Monday the 6th, we have Mercury, which is the planet of our thoughts and our ideas, our belief systems, our communications. It's newly in the sign of Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, which is more bold and independent and take charge. And it's in a very positive aspect to the planet Jupiter, which is in Leo right now. And, Jupiter is about our belief systems, the long-range plans, the big picture. And being in the sign of Leo, it's all about our creative self-expression and expanding those creative energies. So I really feel like on Monday with Mercury in that positive aspect to Jupiter, it's expanding our sense of confidence and independence. It is allowing us to be more assertive with our communications, as well as, again, expanding our ideas as far as our creative abilities and what we want to do with those creative abilities and how it relates to our destiny path, our career path in some way. Also on the same day, we have the Sun, which is also in Aries, and it's coming up to meet with Uranus in Aries. Now, yesterday, on Sunday, the 5th of April, the Sun, we ended out that weekly reading with the Sun in a challenging aspect to Pluto. So really what's happening here is that between yesterday, Sunday, and Monday, the first day of this week's weekly reading, the Sun is setting off that Uranus-Pluto square. So we have, big transformation and redirection within our sense of self, our sense of individuality, our ability to feel our sense of confidence and courage, and where we shine our light. This is kind of, the Sun is where we shine our light for the world. And so with it setting off the Uranus-Pluto square, I feel like this is bringing big changes in kind of us settling into our strengths. I feel like we're settling into our authentic selves here. As we move into Tuesday, Mercury in Aries is now making a challenging aspect to Pluto, and then on Wednesday it's coming up to meet Uranus. So just like the Sun set off the Uranus-Pluto square on Sunday, Monday, Mercury is setting off the Uranus-Pluto square on Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, this is creating a transformation with the way we think and how we believe about ourselves and about our lives. It's bringing a transformation with how we present ourselves to other people as far as communicating our ideals and our goals, and again, being more confident, in that communication. So I feel like there's a take charge leadership energy that's kind of really welling up within us, at least at the beginning of the week. Now also on Wednesday, along with Mercury coming up to meet Uranus, which by the way, My angels and guides are also saying that for that aspect, we're talking about a download of energy because, again, Mercury is our mind energy and Uranus is higher mind energy. So it's like God's source, universal, higher mind energy. And it really brings forth almost like a channeling effect with Uranus. It's like high intuition and being able to be an open vessel and channel for the higher dimensional energies. So don't be surprised if Tuesday night and Wednesday night, wherever you are in the world, that you might have a little trouble sleeping those nights because the mind is very active with Mercury and Aries, but with it coming up and squaring Pluto and coming up to meet up with Uranus especially, it's really downloading higher dimensional energies. It's downloading information. It's activating our DNA. It's activating all sorts of energies within us that may have lied dormant for quite some time that need to be activated. So your psychic senses are going to be heightened. Your ability to connect with your guides and angels on the other side. Your dreams are going to be very interesting, so pay attention to those. Also on Wednesday, though, Jupiter, which is the planet of blessings, the bringer of blessings. Jupiter is a planet of expansion, abundance, and prosperity, and it's been retrograde for a while. And even though it's been retrograde, it's still been a very positive energy, bringing forth changes in our life, expanding us into a new direction or a new way of believing and seeing our world. It's now going to direct motion at 12 degrees of Leo. So this is a very, very happy thing. Like I said, Jupiter retrograde was still positive, but now that it's going direct on Wednesday the 8th, it's going to just increase our ability to bring forth the blessings of the universe, to expand into our abundance and prosperity in all different aspects of life, to really expand our creative self-expression. Also on Wednesday, the moon is in Sagittarius, another fire sign. And that is also kind of a very optimistic, positive place for the moon. However, it's in a challenging aspect to Neptune. So I feel like, there's a possibility to be a little confused emotionally. But again, I feel like our meditations and our dream times and our ability to connect with spirit and bring forth higher guidance and messages and through our intuitions and our higher soul self-connection is really, really strong on and around that day. As we move into Thursday, the 9th of April, the moon still in Sagittarius is now making positive aspects to Jupiter, Uranus, Mercury, and Aries. And all of these planets, again, are in fire signs. Fire signs rule spirit. It rules our passion. It rules creative potential and creative energy. So there's a huge potential here, a huge ability here to really come up with new ideas and expand in new directions and have very positive and productive communications with other people, as well as productive inner communications with ourselves, and to really kind of exude again this sense of confidence and self-sufficiency and leadership ability to take charge of our lives. As we move into Friday the 10th, the Sun in Aries comes up to meet Mercury in Aries. So again, just heightens that energy of a new direction, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's about a new direction, a new way of thinking, a new way of shining your light. Again, being more assertive and more aggressive to go after what it is that you really desire in life. And then as we move into Saturday the 11th, we have a planet that's changing signs, the planet Venus, which rules relationships, partnerships. It rules money and financial, the financial aspects of our lives. And it also rules the divine feminine. She's moving out of the sign of Taurus, which was one of her home signs, and she was very comfortable there, but now it's moving into Gemini. So Gemini is the sign of the twins. And with that sign of the twins, you have different options. And I feel like with our money, with our finances, with our relationships, we're going to have more options. We're going to have more ability to be social within relationships. It might have a potential for those of you that are single to kind of bring in more than one option or opportunity as far as meeting new people. As far as finances, you might think about more than one direction to go in to make money in finances, which is okay because Venus, again, is in Gemini. So we want to look at multiple avenues, multiple opportunities, multiple directions that we can go in these areas of our life. Also on Saturday, the moon is now in Capricorn, and it's setting off that Uranus-Pluto square, which is now separating but still very close together. And so we're going to have further transformation and growth and redirection in the areas that deal with our career, our life path, destiny path, our goals, and our ambitions. So that's a little look at the week from an astrological perspective. As far as the reading for today, we're going to use Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck. We are going to choose a special message card from the Angels of Atlantis deck by Stuart Pearce, and that's going to be a special message card for everyone. Your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, is going to come from the Archangel Michael Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And your stones of choice are citrine. This is a citrine cluster. This is vibrating to the solar plexus as well as the sacral chakra. And by the way, I chose all stones that were kind of a golden yellow or orange color because I felt that this was going to be such a hugely optimistic, positive week into, again, expansion of energies of more happiness and joy coming in. So the citrine specifically, even though we're talking about all of these stones having a similarity, the citrine is a stone of abundance and prosperity and often deals with financial matters. But again, it's a stone that vibrates to your solar plexus and brings in quite an ability of stepping into your confidence. Your second stone of choice is orange calcite. This orange calcite is really good as an emotional cleanser, kind of cleansing away fears and worries, doubts, depression. But it's also going to be a stone that gets you in touch with your creative self-expression and your creative abilities. The last stone to choose is going to be amber. This is an amber cabochon. And the amber, again, just like the other stones, vibrates to the solar plexus and the sacral chakra because of its color. This is really good also at transmuting and transforming the lower emotions. Again, those emotions like fear, doubt, worry, depression. It really kind of transmutes it to a higher vibration, helps to cleanse it and wash it away. And again, this is has an ability to assist you in stepping into your strengths and your confidence and that sense of power within you. Again, your stones of choice are the citrine cluster, the orange calcite, and the amber. Before we draw the cards, they want me to make mention, before I forget, in case I forget by the end of the video, they want me to remind everyone that I did make a monthly angel card reading for April. So you'll want to be sure to go onto my YouTube channel and check out the monthly angel card reading for April. I also made a soul reflections video recently on March 29th, I believe it was. I made a soul reflections video about blessings that are upcoming in our lives, and again, it deals with some of the more positive and stronger astrological things for the next few months. So you might want to take a look at that video as well. There was a lot of good information and good messages in that. And then one last thing is that I did post the Angelic Astrology article for April on angelmessenger.net. So if you want to read more in depth about the energetic numerology and the astrology of the month of April, as well as see what messages are from the angels and guides that month, you'll want to go onto angelmessenger.net to find that. So when I was shuffling and meditating with the cards, we had a card that kind of jumped out of the Angel Tarot deck. So this is going to be also a fourth card as a message for everyone. So let's just tune in for a moment. You can do this with me to kind of ground and center. Take a couple of deep breaths and tune into higher vibration of light, and we call in all of the angels and archangels, ascended masters, guides and teachers of the highest vibration of light. We ask that they bring forth whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge for this week is in everyone's highest and best interest to know. And those are the 3 cards. And then we also want to choose the special message card, special message card from the Angels of Atlantis deck for everyone. Okay, so we'll put that back there. Let's start and take a look at the first card for the week. So we start out with the 2 of Water. And the 2 of Water says a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. So I feel here that this is dealing with not just romantic relationship matters, but I feel like we're dealing with all sorts of relationships that are very important to us. This might be relationships connecting with friends, family that you're really close to, and of course also people that are in your life on a romantic level. But it's a very positive card, and they're talking about a deepening of energies. And with all of the, again, the eclipse energies that we've had, and we have a lot of positive energies that are happening this week, they're talking about us coming they're talking about coming into more of a collective way of being. They're talking more, rather than, you know, thinking about this as individual relationships that we have in our lives, they're actually right now telling me that the collective of humanity, with all of the changing energies that we've had, the Uranus-Pluto square, the eclipses, that we're coming into more of a connection with one another, whether we consciously know it or not, that the collective relationship is growing deeper and closer. What does that mean? They're saying it means that when something happens on the planet, we have a subconscious knowingness of that happening. We have, and a lot of us are very super sensitive and empathic, and so you know what I'm talking about, that when there's something happening on the planet, with a large group of people, with humanity, with the earth itself, that a lot of times we're tuned in on an empathic level and we're feeling the feelings of the collective. And that's what they're saying this is about. That, again, whether it be on a more personal level, but also on a collective level, that our relationships are growing much more deep and much more sensitive, so that we are all connected because we're all a part of the same source. And the more we realize that, the more you'll realize that when you are going through something emotionally or even physically, that it might be not something that's happening with you necessarily, but it could definitely mean that there's something going on the planet with humanity, and you are feeling it because of that deeper connection. Let's look at the second card. Okay, the second card is the Knight of Fire, and it says passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Now, this to me is indicative of all of this kind of fire energy we have this week. Mercury, the Sun, Jupiter, the Moon, all being in fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Well, here's a fire card. Whenever we have the Knight of Fire, I really feel like, to me, the Knight is a fire, a fire placement. You know, we have the court cards, which are the Page, the Knight, the Queen, the King. I feel like the Knight is fire, so it's like fire, fire. It's double fire. So it's really fast-moving, fast-paced energy, which is all this fire stuff happening. You're more confident, you're more courageous, you're more adventurous, you're more ambitious, you're even more restless, you know, you have a lot more physical energy. That's why I talked about perhaps having some trouble sleeping this week. But they're talking about things suddenly moving. This is fast movement, things suddenly taking off. And again, with Jupiter going direct, things are going to take off. We're really going to take off once Jupiter goes direct. It might take a little while, because Jupiter is going to take some time to kind of speed up. You know, it's going to take a while to speed up in its motion. But the minute Jupiter goes direct, it's going to kind of shift the energy into this really abundant, expansive place to where we're ready to go. We're ready to make things happen. We're ready to move in a new direction. We're ready to bring in that abundance and prosperity. We're ready to step into our success and our recognition for who we are and what we're here to do for the world. So again, I feel like there's a lot of things happening, especially in the middle of the week here, that are going to need your attention so that you can move forward on them. And then the last card for the week is the King of Air. So this is interesting because we have a water card, a fire card, and an air card. The King of Air says brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. And it says speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. So here I feel like we're working on our career goals. We're working on our life's ambitions. We're trying to figure out, the next step to take or the new direction to go in. We're trying to kind of feel out what our best options are. And this is a card, again, the king, if you think of a king, they are very confident. They're a leader. And so this is, again, speaking your truth with authority, not out of frustration or not to belittle, but to just really stand in the truth of who you are and what you're here to bring to the world, what you're bringing to the table, so to speak. So this can be in career, working with other people. This can be within the family. This can even be within relationships. But I feel like you're dealing with some professional considerations this week, just like the card says. I feel like this is really about who we are out in the world, our destiny paths, the big picture of who we are out in the world. So there's a lot happening here this week, and I feel like so far, we're dealing with the emotions, we're dealing with the spiritual aspect, the passionate aspect, we're dealing with the mind aspect, the logical aspect, our communication aspect. Let's see what this fourth card is back here. And isn't that interesting? Because now we have an earth card. So now we have one of each element. This is the Page of Earth. It says scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging in a new area of study. So again, this is further communication. We have a lot of things going on astrologically this week with Mercury, remember. And Mercury is that planet of communication. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of communication with other people, and you're going to be doing a lot of thinking and learning about different things, researching different avenues to further yourself. This is even, communication perhaps on a one-on-one level because of the Two of Water over here, communication with other people, but I feel like it's more practical communication or business communication, things to further your goals. And even if it's within a partnership that's a romantic partnership, this is about furthering the goals of the partnership, communicating about what each of you desires to bring to the relationship and how you can best work with one another to accomplish those goals. So again, I think we have a good gamut of energy for this week. I think we're dealing with our emotions, our relationships, our creativity, our communications, our finances, and our sense of self and being authentic and standing in that sense of leadership and confidence. So I really feel like after all of the eclipses that we had in the last month, and with Jupiter going direct this week, that things are happening on a lot of different levels. That's what I feel like when I look at the cards for this week. There's things happening on all kinds of different levels. Let's look at what the Angels of Atlantis card is for everyone for the week. Wow, that's very fitting. I actually drew this card earlier for a reading with somebody that I just did. This is Archangel Michael, and it says, I am presence. And what a beautiful card, and what a fitting card, because again, we have the Sun in Aries, we have Mercury in Aries. Mercury, was setting off a bunch of planetary aspects this week, and Uranus is in Aries, and Uranus was involved in a few of the astrological configurations this week. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Each sign of the zodiac has a key phrase, and it's interesting to me because the key phrase for Aries is I am. I am, and this says I am presence with Archangel Michael, and we have this beautiful purple energy, divine purple energy of the crown chakra. We have this beautiful, this can be looked at as almost one of two different things. To me, in some ways it looks like a huge castle, but it also to me is like a throne that a king or a queen would sit on. That's really what I believe it is, because then it has this gold carpeting in front of it. Gold is our sense of willpower, our sense of confidence. The purple energy here is the divine guidance, being divinely connected to universe, to God, to the source. And this is wanting you to step into that energy, the source of your power. Step into that I am presence. You are a part of that divine God source energy. You are a part of universal energy. You have the power within you to co-create with God and with universe everything that it is that you desire. And this is, again, to me, telling us that this week, all these wonderful aspects going on, Jupiter turning direct, is allowing us to step into that I am presence, that confidence, that sense of self, and that sense of connection of ourselves with spirit to bring about and create and manifest the desires and the dreams that we want to accomplish. All the while, Archangel Michael is definitely helping us. He's that kind of a leadership angel, you know, moving away and wiping away all obstacles to our path. So, very awesome week this week. Let's see what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. And this is, again, from Archangel Michael. So, you know, Archangel Michael already showed himself there with the Angels of Atlantis card. Let's see now what your personal message is, depending on your stone of choice. Those that chose the citrine cluster, let go of fear now. Your message from Archangel Michael is to let go of any fears, worries, and concerns. Yes, it's been kind of intense. You know, yes, there's been a lot of changes and redirections. It's been almost nonstop for quite some time. I know I feel that since the beginning of this year, there's been fast change and a lot of it, a lot of redirections. And it kind of can throw you off balance. It can throw you into a tailspin unless you are really connected to and grounded to your higher soul self. So this is just confirmation for you that there's nothing to be worried about. Everything is unfolding just as it should be. Again, Archangel Michael is got your back. He's standing behind you. He's helping you to have that confidence to move forward. So I really feel that this message with the citrine, again, your sense of power and letting go of that fear is very, very timely for you right now. And then for those of you that chose the orange calcite, people, this one actually is calling my attention. This says that you and your loved ones are safe. So there might be a question, maybe you're dealing with some issues in your personal life. Maybe you're dealing with some financial issues or issues with your living situation or work situation. Whatever it is, whatever's going on, Archangel Michael wants you to know that, again, he's protecting you. He's guiding you. All of your angels and guides are protecting and guiding you, and that you're going to be safe. Everything's going to turn out okay. Remember to connect with them. I'm just taking a look at the picture to see if there's anything that kind of comes to my attention here. I feel like, you know, just as I said that, interesting that you can't see this on the video, but there's a little ladybug, a real ladybug, that just kind of hit my window. It's on the inside of where I live, on my window. And that's a message to me that, again, the ladybug in the Animal Wise Tarot deck, and I used that once in a video a couple weeks ago as far as a special message card. But the ladybug is like the Nine of Cups. It's like your hopes and wishes and dreams coming true. So with that ladybug, along with this card, as I'm talking about this card, Archangel Michael wants you to know that you're safe and protected and that your dreams are coming true. You just have to have faith. I feel like there's an aspect here about having faith and trust and giving it up to the angels, giving it up to Archangel Michael, asking for assistance and asking him maybe to show you the way or show you the next step or lead you to the right decision if it's something that you're, if there's a decision that has to be made, to ask him or ask your angels and guides to step in and assist the unfolding and divine timing of whatever choice it is that you may need to make in your lives. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the amber, okay, the amber people, the romance angels are helping you. That's interesting. So some of you may be dealing with things that deal with relationships or partnerships, or maybe even just relationship patterns that keep coming up in your life. When I think about the stone that you chose, the amber, and I talked about amber being a stone that transmutes negative, lower vibrational energies, especially emotions like depression or fear or worry or concern. And I feel like it deals with self-worth issues. I feel like they're talking about self-worth issues within relationship matters. If you're in a relationship and there's things that are a challenge, the angels are helping you kind of iron those out. They're helping you with your sense of self-worth and knowing that you're worthy and deserving for the very best in life and the very best in your relationships. If you're not in a relationship right now, perhaps you're seeking a relationship. Again, I feel like there's an old pattern here. There's an old repeating pattern that Archangel Michael and the romance angels are trying to help you with. They're trying to bring it to your attention. They're trying to help you move through it energetically. They're trying to assist you in releasing it and obtaining a different way of believing about your life and about yourself and about relationships that is going to be more functional for you. That's going to be more in a place of positivity for you in order for you to draw to you the partner that it is that you seek. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, please check out my new site, especially if you want a personal reading or a personal healing session with me. It's sacredsoulempowerment.com. I also have the new Facebook page, Sacred Soul Empowerment, along with the other Facebook page, Colleen Lema, that both have empowering posts, astrological posts, posts on the happenings that are going on the planet, and things to help you step into your truth and your authenticity and your true sense of self. So thank you all very much for all of your support, all your comments, all your liking and sharing of my videos and my posts. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful and thankful for all that you are and all that you do, all that you provide to the world and to those that you're helping. So I send you all a lot of love and light and many, many angel blessings.